We believe that private sector actually, and your project, it's also part of the guarantees for us, for our lasting peace. And we also should look at the business like from that perspective that it's very crucial. You will play a very crucial role in the future, stable and peaceful Ukraine. So that's why it's extremely important to have this meeting with you. It's extremely important that you would apply, as I am going to apply to the French government and say that we need to enlarge, to increase this program. And I think that we have a plenty of opportunity to develop, and it's very good that French government actually was the first one who set up this agreement and will give you additional competitive advantage in comparison with other countries. So thank you for your active role. Pierre, thank you. You have very good representatives that are in charge of reconstruction and recovery, and I think that his role is extremely important in this process. So thank you once again. Thank you for standing with Ukraine, and I think that unity is our strength, and thank you that you support us every day and you support us in all sectors in different manners. Thank you.
I think I'm due to be accompanied by companies that have that are going to present their project this morning. Good morning, everyone. My name is Claire Cheremetinsky. I'm the Deputy DG for the Treasury, and I'm very, very honored to be part of this event this morning. As the ministers have previously explained, we are here today to present the results of this 200 million donation funds that we have set up for Ukraine. The purpose of this fund was to help Ukrainian rebuild key infrastructure in an urgent manner to face the urgent needs of Ukraine, and also to help French companies participate in this effort, whether the big companies or small and medium-sized companies. And there was a specific emphasis on the fact that we wanted also small and medium-sized companies to benefit from the fund. The purpose was indeed to be able to answer urgent needs from Ukraine, but also to make sure that French companies could set up in Ukraine and could start a cooperation that we hope would be long-lasting for the reconstruction needs of Ukraine. So the ministers have explained that we have focused on 5 key sectors. We have made an appel à projet, a call for companies to participate, and there was indeed a huge success. And as Prime Minister Svyrydenko explained, we weren't able to finance everything. I just wanted to mention that for companies that have not been financed by this fund, we are going to organize an event in a few weeks in order to try to matchmake with other financing possibilities, and to make sure that Ukraine can benefit from as many projects as possible. So this morning we are only talking about the projects that were chosen by the Ukrainian authorities. The process was for us to set up a few eligibility criteria, and then to send all the projects to the Ukrainian authorities for them to choose those who they consider as the most important or the most beneficial for the countries. Therefore, we have financed 19 projects with 17 French companies contributing to the reconstruction of Ukraine. I just wanted to underline the exceptional dedication, especially of small and medium-sized companies, because those companies indeed have been able to be pragmatic and to adapt to a process that has been a bit bumpy, because we wanted to be as quick as possible, and therefore just a special word of thanks for small companies. Let me introduce the companies that will realize reconstruction projects financed by the Ukraine Fund. First of all, in the health sector, we have projects from DMS Imaging, Desinte, C3 Medical, Soco Scanner, Resilience Orthopedics, Ellipse Projects, Ginter International, and Schiller Medical. 6 of them are SMEs. The sector of demining, which was mentioned by the ministers as one of the most important, so demining and fire safety, is represented by 3 SMEs, Excel Robotics, Shark Robotics, and CNIM System Industriel in a consortium with CEFA. For the energy sector are present today Schneider Electric, GE Vernova, EDF International Networks, and the SME Industrial Packing Solutions. Camp Alliance, Atelier de France, Thales realize infrastructure and urban reconstruction projects, and Saint-Gobain-Pont-à-Mousson for the water sector. This long list, which only includes those projects that were chosen by the Ukraine authorities, illustrates the extent and the diversity of the French corporate landscape and the expertise that we are willing to put at the disposal of Ukraine and for the reconstruction of Ukraine. The purpose of this meeting, of course, is to try to be as comprehensive as possible, but actually the time frame does not allow us to present all 19 projects in detail, but we have asked one company per sector to present its project as an example today. So those are the companies concerned. And let me start by the energy sector, if I may. We have Madame Ventuche from Industrial Packing Solutions with us this morning to give us an example of an SME making its first step in the Ukrainian market. And I wanted to ask you, Mrs. Ventuche, to tell us about the nature of the project and which characteristics of your company's product you think contributed to the Ukrainian government decision to choose your project.
Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, honorable ministers, distinguished delegates, dear colleagues, it's first a great honor to stand before you on behalf of Industrial Packing Solution and the energy sector. Ukraine is at a turning point where access to reliable, sustainable and rapidly deployable energy is a key factor in resilience and reconstruction. The French energy sector is committed to playing a major role in stabilizing the country. And in this context, Industrial Packing Solution has been selected to provide a concrete solution. So we supply mobile solar power generators, an essential solution to ensure immediate energy access in critical areas. Our equipments were chosen for their mobility, robustness and energy efficiency, as well as their ability to adapt to logistical and climatic challenges. So our product is the IPS Energy Box, and I can summarize it in 3 key points. Easy to use, thanks to its plug-and-play system. So it connects to any type of network with just a 3-phase cable. And it can be installed in less than 3 hours without requiring any special skills. The second key point is adaptation. Thanks to its wheels, it provides high mobility. And the third key point is reduced dependence on fossil fuels, which is essential for improving energy sovereignty. So these features, combined with our logistical expertise and ability to operate in complex environments, convinced the Ukrainian government that our solution was the best to meet the country's urgent energy needs.
Thank you, Mrs. Ventuche. And actually, indeed, the energy sector is very important for Ukraine's resilience. And as we speak, we know that there has been attacks on the energy infrastructure in Ukraine. So even more important to show that French companies can be present in this important sector. Maybe let me turn now to demining and fire safety sector. For this sector, we have Mr. Astruk, representing today the company Exile Robotics. Your company realized a project that benefits 2 public entities in Ukraine. Can you tell us exactly what it consists of and how it came about in collaboration with Ukrainian partners?
Thank you. Thank you for letting me explain you this very important project for us. So thank you for all ministers. And we have started this project, in fact, more than a year ago, during a visit of a GCAT working group of the mining expert, Team France. And then this fund was for us an opportunity to propose tailored solutions, combining Excel know-how in terms of land and subaquatic demining solutions with Geomin, our partner, expertise and ability to train them inland on-site in Ukraine. So our project was not just about transfer some equipment. It was to transfer know-how, knowledge, and to train people and improving their capability for demining action in Ukraine. A very important factor for the success of our project was the numerous visits we made in Ukraine. We were still there last week. And we've been able to meet people there, to meet the mining actors in Ukraine. For that, we've been very helped by people from the Direction of Cooperation of Security and Defense. So Jean-Yves Sifuente, to name it, was really helpful to help us to meet the real key people over there, to understand exactly what are their strengths and what they are looking for to improve the capacity. We wanted to be sure that this project for us is not a one-off, but was the very first of many. So we were paying a lot of attention and a lot of effort to really understand what was the needs of Ukrainian in terms of the mining capability. I would like also as well to add that we have pay attention to the long-term aspect of this project by delivering a spare part, not just equipment, and training also as well. The part of the project is training of maintenance people to be sure that the material will be used in the coming years and for long term. We also as well trying to find out potentially some local partners also as well for this maintenance. And lastly, what I would like to add is the fact that this fund, I would say the root of the fund, have pushed us also as well to try to use a lot of small French pépite, like I2S will bring some very special camera for subaquatic visions, like LWAVE for the very innovative sensor to detect mine which is buried in the seabed, and like Suprameca will bring some specific device to neutralize the mine. Mm-hmm. So thank you for the fund. Thank you for everything. I think it was a very, very good start and very good support for us to create this Team France of the mining.
Okay, thank you very much. And I think you underline 2 key aspects that we wanted to achieve with these funds. First, the fact that it's only a first step for you, but you are planning to stay and to engage in a long-lasting commercial relations with Ukraine, which is one of the objectives of the fund, and also that you are taking with you other French expertise. And I think that's also one of the main objectives that we wanted to achieve. So thank you for that. Just wanted also to say that indeed the health sector is a key focus for the Ukrainian authorities and for us. We have today with us this morning Mr. Julien Delpech, welcome. You are a board member of the French Healthcare Association, who accompanied the 7 French companies throughout the process on this fund. Julien, can you give us an overview of the state of the Ukrainian health sector today and how the 7 healthcare projects that we are financing will cover urgent needs?
Very good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, first of all, what I'd like to mention is the fact that we have 7 companies that have been selected within this fund is the result of the commitment of the 300 members of French Healthcare Association, and also the fact that we've organized, since the very inception of the Russian aggression, more than 10 missions in Ukraine. So this is a team effort that has been supported by the task force, by the French embassy, and all the other players in Ukraine. Regarding the state of the art, and Mrs. Svyrydenko mentioned the enormous amount that is going to be needed for the reconstruction of Ukraine. Regarding healthcare, I'd like to pinpoint the fact that it's more than 2,500 healthcare facilities that have been destroyed or damaged by the Russian aggression. 2,500 healthcare facilities. And all the projects that have been selected are going to bring an answer, are going to address the needs of this context. Just very quickly, yes, to go through the 7 projects, and if I take them one by one, DMS Imaging is going to deploy more than 120 radiographic mobile equipment across Ukraine in established healthcare facilities, but also in temporary healthcare facilities. De Santé is addressing a key problem in Ukraine. More than 70,000 people have been amputated. And these people, they suffer from what is called the phantom limb syndrome. And De Santé brings a highly innovative, game-changing solution that is going to address the pain that the people feel because they had a limb amputated. The third project is C3 Medical. In the context of less facilities, less healthcare facilities, there is a need for telemedicine and teleconsultation services. So they will deploy equipment for the civilians, for the army, coming together with training that is going to ensure the transfer of know-how between the French medical community and the Ukrainian medical community. Sonoscanner, as it was mentioned, is going to bring more than 150 ultrasound equipment in order to address pregnant women, in order to do some different types of diagnosis. Resilience Orthopedics, yes, I mentioned 70,000 people have lost a limb. And Resilience Orthopedics is going to create 4 different clinics, micro-clinics, in order to create like a 3D printing fittings with the prosthesis. The 2 last projects, Ginger International and Ellipse projects, they're going to rebuild rehabilitation center, a children rehabilitation center in the city of Vinnytsia, and an adult rehabilitation center in the city of Ladizhin. And last but not least, Schiller Medical, they're going to equip emergency services with resuscitation devices to be able to operate cardiac defibrillation and a lot of emergency diagnosis. So all these projects, they truly answer a need that has been explained by the Minister of Healthcare, and they will be deployed extremely quickly, starting in April, so basically in a month. Yes, the equipment will start to be available across Ukraine.
Thank you very much, Julien. And just to say that one of the eligibility criteria for this fund was the capability to deploy quickly the project, and I think you explained very well that indeed in the health sector is going to be the case. So thank you for that. Maybe on infrastructure and urban reconstruction, just to ask Mr. Castellan this morning, can you present us a project that will contribute to prepare Ukraine for the reopening of its airspace under the responsibility of Thales? And also, it's a very important project. As the Minister explained, it's key for reconnecting Ukraine with the rest of the world and to have facility of access to Ukraine.
Thank you. Thank you for your trust. Obviously, reopening the airspace as fast as possible is key to reconnect Ukraine to Europe and the rest of the world, and will help the reconstruction of the country in efficient manners. To operate the airspace, the civil aviation needs up-to-date radars to operate in safety conditions. Obviously, they have all been destroyed in the war. And today, thanks to the strong cooperation we have with the civil aviation, here with the director in the room, we built an efficient project that can deploy in a few months an up-to-date air traffic control radar to start operating with civil airlines the airspace to a first airport, should it be decided by the Ukrainian civil aviation. As such, the Ukrainian civil aviation will start generating revenues and start to be in capacity to invest in their whole civil infrastructure. And hopefully, we have other projects to come in a few months or few years, because in the past, the civil airspace of Ukraine was operated by 10 airports, 10 radars in operation. So we believe it's the beginning of a long journey of good relationship with the civil aviation of Ukraine.
Thank you, Mr. de Castellan. And last but not least, a sector where French expertise, I think, is well recognized, the water sector. Monsieur Jérôme Lyonnais can give us an overview of Saint-Gobain-Pont-à-Mousson project to modernize the water infrastructure in Kriviri. Mr. Lyonnais, how did you become aware of the need to modernize the city's drinking water infrastructure? And to what extent is this project part of your company's long-term strategy in Ukraine?
Thank you. First of all, we are very honored to be awarded today, and Mr. Ministers and Madam Prime Minister, would like to thank you on behalf of all the company for having chosen us as well as our partners. And also, I will give a special thank also to Pierre Elbron and his team, as well as the DG Trésor and BPI, with whom we have been working already for 2 years, because you visited our site already 2 years ago to start up the project. The first thing I would like to say is that on that project, we have been also able to embark other companies, French companies, so Aegis is one of them, but also as well SMEs who are part of our project. And behind the project, we have also organized ourselves to share the knowledge, to share the expertise with 20 other companies. They are not part of the project, but they will benefit from the experience. So I think it was important to do it. So our project basically is to ensure the water supply to the city of Kryvyi, which is a 1 million inhabitant city in the southeast of Ukraine. And I guess you all remember that in June 2023, the dam of Karovka, big dam, which is on the Dnipro River, was bombed, and it was the major water supply source for the city. And since then, the city is heavily struggling to get water in volume, just to get water, but also to get water in terms of in good quality. So we are supplying with the other company a complete system to ensure the water availability in this city. And so then the reason why I hope we have been chosen is that I would say, first of all, we have 150 years of experience to work in complex environments. So many countries, I guess, our systems are almost present in all the countries in the world, the most difficult ones sometimes. So I think it was one of the criteria. And the second one, more specifically to this place, Krivoyri is a place where there is a lot of mine, a lot of ground movement. So we need a system which is resisting to ground movement and resisting also to the fact that the soil, which is a big topic in Ukraine, has been heavily polluted because of the war, to be sure that nothing bad is entering into the water system. So I hope those were the criteria of selection for us as well as the other companies. And for us, it's a one first step in Ukraine. We are already working also on the other project, and we see it as a long-term involvement for us in terms of water, but for also our group, which is in building material. We are working on a significant project in Kyiv also with the Vodo Canal to restore some part of the Vodo Canal, and in other oblasts like Kharkiv to also again to restore the availability of water. You mentioned some figure on the health sector. On the water sector, there is an estimation that a third of this, more than critical, it's a vital infrastructure, has been affected or completely destroyed by the war. So the need to supply reliable solution is there, and it's extremely urgent. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Lyonnais. Just let me thank everyone this morning and thank you especially for the insight into your projects and into the prospects of your companies and the cooperation with Ukraine. These projects indeed open up the prospect for even closer economic and commercial relations between our two countries. The commitment and willingness of your companies to implement projects in Ukraine is exemplary and shows that both French authorities but also the business community stand firmly on the side of Ukraine. This fund demonstrates that supporting our Ukrainian friends also enables the development of very high-level French companies, French technologies and know-how. It is the expertise this expertise that enables our company to be among the best in the world in many strategic sectors. Moreover, this fund is helping to build a shared economic history between France and Ukraine, two countries determined to build an autonomous and prosperous Europe. And I would like now to give the floor to Minister Barrot for a few concluding remarks. Thank you very much.
Madame la vice-première ministre, dear Yulia, Messieurs les ministres, cher Eric et cher Laurent, Monsieur l'ambassadeur, Monsieur l'envoyé spécial, everyone, it is a great pleasure to be here because this 200 million bilateral fund is a very important innovation. And I want to thank all of the people that are here today, in particular Pierre Elbron, for achieving in putting it together. It was not an easy task, bringing together the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and the Ministry of Economics and Finance to build such an innovative scheme that basically rests on donations that attract French companies to participate alongside Ukrainian authorities in reconstruction in Ukraine in a time of war. And I want to congratulate the CEOs of the companies that were awarded, the 17 CEOs awarded the 19 projects that this fund, the first ever of its kind, will be funding. And I draw 3 lessons from this experience that I hope will inspire other experiences of this kind. First lesson, Europe is the #1 funding partner of Ukraine, whatever some may think or say. It's 134 billion worth of assistance that Europe has provided to Ukraine over these 3 years since the war of aggression of Russia started. Not only because we support Ukraine in its fight to preserve its territorial integrity, but because we believe this war of aggression raises questions that go way beyond the Ukrainian territorial integrity itself that it raises questions relative to the security of Europe and to the respect of international law. And this assistance has taken various forms: military support, humanitarian support, and also economic support, such as this fund of 200 million euros that will allow those 17 French companies to contribute in the fields of health, energy, infrastructure, demining, or water. This has taken us a lot of work and effort to build innovative instruments. I was saying how innovative this instrument is, but I want to also mention the Ukraine facility with 50 billion euros at the European level, that is also a first of its kind, or the G7 loan financed by the revenues of Russian frozen assets that is currently being sent to Ukraine with 18 billion euros that will be transferred and funded by Russia, not by European taxpayers, and obviously not by Ukrainians. And because we've been sort of standing firmly alongside Ukrainians, because we've been innovative in designing financial instruments, we are the #1 funding partner of Ukraine 3 years after the beginning of this war. That's lesson 1. Lesson 2 is that Ukraine is a land of opportunity. And it is no mystery that there were so many applications to this fund, not only because, of course, the fund is fully subsidizing the investments of the companies, but because the companies that just spoke, they see the prospects of stepping in Ukraine through this fund, but then going beyond, establishing presence, building partnership with Ukrainian authorities and Ukrainian companies. And I want to emphasize another investment that was made recently, a private investment supported by the IFC, the investment by N18G for 1.5 billion euros, the largest investment in 10 years in Ukraine, bringing together 2 telecom operators, not by charity, not only to support the Ukrainian people in its effort to resist against the invader, but also because N18G saw huge business opportunities in Ukraine and decided to invest a lot of its capital. And this is an invitation to all French companies and European companies to follow this lead and to explore all avenues of possible cooperation or investments in Ukraine that is right now, as reconstruction is starting, but in the years and decades to come, a land of opportunity in all sectors, whether they're infrastructure or technology. That's lesson number 2. Lesson number 3 is that reconstruction in Ukraine, investment in Ukraine, is good for jobs in France. And as as Minister Lombard has said, and as you've seen in the document that presents this fund, jobs will be created in all French or in many French regions thanks to this 200 million bilateral reconstruction fund. And the same goes with a number of economic cooperations that our governments have stirred in this past 3 years. And it's important for everyone to realize that that these jobs and these investments that are supporting Ukraine right now are also good for French citizens. I'm saying this in a moment when some are raising questions about the cost of our support to the Ukrainian resistance, and this meeting today, the testimony that we received from the companies involved in these calls for proposals supported by this 200 million bilateral reconstruction fund show that all of what we're doing in Ukraine trickles down into French territories, which is a good news for everyone, and a testament to the joint destiny of the Ukrainian and the French people. So thank you very much to all of those who made this day come true, and good luck to all the laureates of the 19 projects awarded by the fund.
On bouge les tables alors? Non, on bouge les tables? Non, non. Non. Ah oui, voilà.
Vous allez bien? Monsieur le ministre. Enchanté. Monsieur le ministre. Monsieur le ministre DNS. Samuel de DNS. Merci. Peut-être pas me mettre derrière le pupitre, si. Ah, je sais pas, il faut bien que tu sois quelque part.
May I ask everyone to deliver a standing ovation to our Ukrainian friends?
Une autre photo, c'est bien. C'est le petit...
Ouais, she could be
C'est parfait. DMS.
T'étais pas de l'autre côté? C'est-à-dire? À la conf? Si, j'y étais, je viens juste d'arriver. Je t'ai pas vu.
حتى إذا بلغ بين السدين وجد من دونهما قوما لا يكادون يفقهون قولا قالوا يا ذا القرنين إن يأجوج ومأجوج مفسدون في الأرض فهل نجعل لك خرجا على أن تجعل بيننا وبينهم سدا قال ما مكني فيه ربي خير فأعينوني بقوة أجعل بينكم وبينهم ردما آتوني زبر الحديد حتى إذا ساوى بين الصدفين قال انفخوا حتى إذا جعله نارا قال آتوني أفرغ عليه قطرا فما استطاعوا أن يظهروه وما استطاعوا له نقبا قال هذا رحمة من ربي فإذا جاء وعد ربي جعله دكاء وكان وعد ربي حقا وتركنا بعضهم يومئذ يموج في بعض ونفخ في الصور فجمعناهم جمعا وعرضنا جهنم يومئذ للكافرين عرضا الذين كانت أعينهم في غطاء عن ذكري وكانوا لا يستطيعون سمعا أفحسب الذين كفروا أن يتخذوا عبادي من دوني أولياء إنا أعتدنا جهنم للكافرين نزلا قل هل ننبئكم في الأخسرين أعمالا الذين ضل سعيهم في الحياة الدنيا وهم يحسبون أنهم يحسنون صنعا أولئك الذين كفروا بآيات ربهم ولقائه فحبطت أعمالهم فلا نقيم لهم يوم القيامة وزنا ذلك جزاؤهم جهنم بما كفروا واتخذوا آياتي ورسلي هزوا إن الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات كانت لهم جنات الفردوس نزلا خالدين فيها لا يبغون عنها حولا قل لو كان البحر مدادا لكلمات ربي لنفد البحر قبل أن تنفد كلمات ربي ولو جئنا بمثله مددا قل إنما أنا بشر مثلكم يوحى إلي أنما إلهكم إله واحد فمن كان يرجو لقاء ربه فليعمل عملا صالحا ولا يشرك بعبادة ربه أحدا السلام عليكم. الله أكبر الله أكبر الله
وأشهد أن سيدنا ونبينا وحبيبنا وقرة أعيننا محمدا عبده ورسوله وصفيه وخليله خير نبي أرسله ليكون للعالمين نذيرا. اللهم صل على نبينا محمد في الأولين وصل عليه في الآخرين وصل عليه في الملأ الأعلى إلى يوم الدين. معشر المسلمين، أوصيكم وإياي بتقوى الله العظيم وطاعته، وأحذركم من مخالفة أمره ووبال عصيانه، وأستفتح بالذي هو خير. اللهم افتح بخير واختم بخير، واجعل عاقبة أمورنا إلى خير برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. أما بعد، فيا عباد الله، إن الله سبحانه وتعالى عندما خلق الخلق جعل الإنسان أفضل المخلوقات وكرمه على كل الكائنات. قال عز وجل: ولقد كرمنا بني آدم وحملناهم في البر والبحر ورزقناهم من الطيبات وفضلناهم على كثير ممن خلقنا تفضيلا. ولو ذهب المتأمل في كتاب الله عز وجل يبحث عن أوجه التكريم والتفضيل للإنسان سيجد صفات كثيرة، لعل منها أن الله عز وجل خص الإنسان بالعقل الذي يفكر به ويتدبر ويكتشف المجهول، وخصه الله تعالى بالعلم المكتسب وهو ثمرة تدبر العقل وتفكيره. قال عز وجل: والله أخرجكم من بطون أمهاتكم لا تعلمون شيئا وجعل لكم السمع والأبصار والأفئدة لعلكم تشكرون. فذكر السمع والأبصار والأفئدة لأنها منافذ المعرفة وأبواب العلم التي يسلكها الإنسان، ولأن الإنسان عاقل ومؤهل للعلم فإنه غدا أهلا لحمل الرسالة، وهي الخصيصة الثالثة. قال عز وجل: إنا عرضنا الأمانة على السماوات والأرض والجبال فأبين أن يحملنها وأشفقن منها وحملها الإنسان إنه كان ظلوما جهولا. هي رسالة الإسلام، رسالة العبودية لله، رسالة التكليف. ومن أهم ومن أعظم صور هذه الرسالة تأتي الخصيصة الرابعة، وهي أنها رسالة الفضيلة، رسالة الأخلاق، رسالة العفة والستر. لذلك ميز الله الإنسان عن كل المخلوقات بالستر. يا بني آدم قد أنزلنا عليكم لباسا يواري سوآتكم وريشا. والإنسان من منطلق تفضيله ومن منطلق قيم الرسالة خصه الله تعالى بتهذيب الحيوانية. فالحيوانية والتي نعني بها مادة الحياة من الطعام والشراب والتناسل قدر مشترك بين الإنسان وسائر الحيوانات، إلا أن الإنسان يمارس حيوانيته بطريقة مهذبة، فيأكل من الطيبات ويصلحها طبخا وذبحا، ويتناسل بطريقة الزواج والإيجاب والقبول. هذه الخصائص وغيرها مما لا أذكره هي التي يمكن أن نسميها الإنسانية. فعندما نقول رسالة الإسلام رسالة إنسانية، أي أنها جاءت لترتقي بالإنسان ليحقق هذه المزايا فيه. وأعظم رسالة عرفت الإنسانية وحققتها في أتباعها هي رسالة الإسلام. ولأن التدافع بين الرسالات سنة أزلية قدرية، فمنذ أن خلق الله تعالى آدم وأبى إبليس أن يسجد له ونزلا إلى الدنيا كان شعارها بعضكم لبعض عدو. وبدأ التدافع بين حملة رسالة الإنسانية المتمثل بأتباع آدم أتباع الرسل والأنبياء وبين دعاة البهيمية المتمثل بالمتحررين من قيود الإنسانية. هذا التدافع الذي جعله الله تعالى سنة أزلية كونية قدرية، ولولا دفع الله الناس بعضهم ببعض لفسدت الأرض. ومن هنا معشر الأحبة كان التدافع بين رسالة الإنسانية وبين رسالة البهيمية التي حملها بعض بني آدم ممن لم يوصف بالإنسان. كان هذا التدافع منذ أن عرفت البشرية طريقها، وسيبقى إلى أن يرث الله الأرض ومن عليها. تتغير الأزمان وتتغير الأمكنة وتتغير الأشخاص، لكن التدافع يبقى وتبقى وسائله وصوره. ونحن في سوريا في بلاد الشام منذ عبد ويزيد من الزمن عشنا ثورة العزة والكرامة، عشنا جهادا كبيرا لم يكن إلا مرحلة من مراحل التدافع بين الإنسانية والبهيمية. ثورتنا المباركة التي تحتاج أن نضع النقاط على الحروف وأن نصفها الوصف الصحيح، لا سيما في زحمة التلاعب بالمصطلحات وفي زحمة تشويه جمالها. فثورتنا ليست ثورة جياع، ليست ثورة ركون خاوية ثارت لتجد لقمة عيشها. ثورتنا ليست ثورة أحزاب وجماعات سال لعابها لمحاصصة في المناصب. ثورتنا ليست ثورة قوميات تنافست فيما بينها. ثورتنا ليست ثورة طائفية، وإن كنا ذبحنا بسيف الطائفية، وإن كنا نحرنا دهرا بالطائفية، لكننا ننضح ما عندنا ولا نعامل الآخر بما عنده. ثورتنا ليست طائفية. إذن فما هي ثورة الشام؟ هي ثورة الإنسانية ضد البهيمية، ثورة الحق ضد الظلم، ثورة العدل ضد البغي والعدوان، ثورة الإنسان ضد أعداء الإنسان، ضد حملة البهيمية، حملة أعداء الإنسانية. ومن هنا معشر الأحبة لو نظرت إلى الفريق الآخر الذي كنا نصارعه وكنا نقاومه لرأيت كيف كان يحارب الإنسان فينا. ذاك الذي قتل العقل ودمره معنويا عندما غرس فيه الخرافات والأساطير وأودع فيه ثقافة التفاهة، وماديا عندما أشبعه بالمنكرات وعندما أشبعه بالمخدرات وبغيرها، وقتل العلم في الإنسان عندما دعم الجهل وقدم أهله وتلاعب بالمناهج في كل المؤسسات وخرج أجيالا ممسوخة، وهو الذي حارب الفضيلة في الإنسان فكان أسوأ منه وصفا وكان أقبح منه طبيعة ومنهجا. وصدق عليه قول الشاعر: مات في المركة كلب فاسترحنا من عواه، خلف الملعون جروا فاق في النبح أباه. لذلك معشر الأحبة، لما كانت ثورتنا ثورة إنسانية، ثورة الكرامة والعدل، ثبتنا على مبادئها وحملنا عزمنا إيمانا بالله عز وجل، وكنا على ثقة بأن النصر يرقبنا وبأن معية الله تعالى ستكون معنا. ما خالج قلوبنا يوما شك أو وهم بأن الله سيتخلى عنا. ولقد قلت في قصائد كثيرة أقسمت بأن النصر آت، ومما قلت فيها: وفي الثغور أسود الحرب تحرسها، والويل إن زأرت عند الملمات، حمر العصائب بيض القلب تحسبهم ملائكة الله جاءت من سماوات، وفي دمشق لقاء النصر يرقبنا، أقسمت بالله آت إنه آت. الله وبر الله القسم، وعدنا فاتحين إلى دمشق، دمشق التي سكنت قلوبنا، دمشق التي سارت روحا في أجسادنا، دمشق التي غبنا عنها جسدا وحملناها بين جوانحنا روحا. واعذروني أيها الأحبة، فأنا المتيم بدمشق، وأنا الذي حملتها في قلبي وهي مسقط قلبي وإن لم تكن مسقط رأسي. فإذا ذكرت دمشق على لساني تقاتلت قصائد دمشقية حولها، وسآخذ منها ما قلته: أسافر من دمشق إلى دمشق، وفي كل الطريق أرى دمشق. ومن سكن دمشق بخافقيه فلن يرى، ومن سكن دمشق في خافقيه فلن يقبل في الأرضين غيرها عشقا. ثم قلت: سلام يا ابنة التاريخ، سلام يا ابنة التاريخ، يشفى ببرد الوصل، ببرد الوصل قلب